First, a revolution confiscated, then a dispute between coup leaders that became a civil war, with Sudan wondering 3 years on if the fall of a key city in the western Darfur region is the cue for a second partition of the country. Darfur, where the massacre of civilians is drawing comparisons with the genocide there 2 decades ago. Hardly surprising, the paramilitary leader who led the 18-month siege of El-Fasher is the same Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, aka General Hemedti, who was an instrumental leader of the notorious Janjaweed militias that operated in Darfur under deposed dictator Omar al-Bashir. Himself a Darfuri will ask if Hemedti wants a South Sudan-style break with Khartoum, a partition, or to take the whole country with the help of his Emirati backers. Human rights monitors accuse both sides of war crimes. The forces of General al-Burhan also have their foreign backers. Who then to stop what's currently the world's bloodiest conflict, where the overwhelming majority of casualties are civilians? Today in the France 24 debate, we're talking about the fall of El-Fasher. With us from the Darfur town of Tawila, Caroline Bouvard, Sudan country director for the aid organization Solidarité Internationale. Thank you so much for being with us here in the France 24 debate.
Thank you for having me.
From London, Sudanese journalist Roha El-Hag joins us as well. Welcome to the show.
Nice to see you, everyone.
From Aurillac in southern France, Walid Makram, political advisor for the Sudan Liberation Movement and the Tazis Alliance that supports Hemedti's RSF. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks being with you to correct the image.
On the go, by the way, you can listen to the show wherever podcasts are streamed. Yeah, after a harrowing 18-month siege and the overrunning of the Army's 6th Infantry Division headquarters in El-Fasher over the weekend, coup leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan forced late Monday to state the obvious.
Everyone has followed what has happened in El-Fasher. The leadership there, including security, made assessments that they have to leave the city due to systematic destruction and killing of civilians. We agreed with them to leave the city and to go to a safe place so as to spare the rest of the citizens and the city from destruction.
As we promised the Sudanese people and said that in just a few hours we would complete the mission, we have completed it tonight. The right of the Sudanese people is in our hands. We are now inside the 6th Infantry Division. God willing, it's only a matter of time. Burhan, we're coming for you there, you dog.
Roa El-Hag, is this a turning point?
I will start with Sudan crisis is the biggest crisis in the whole world. And what's happened in El-Fasher was predictable because RSF controlled El-Fasher for the past 18 months. So it was predictable. It's just a matter of time. SAF control really weak at that point. And we saw like horrifying footages and videos from El-Fasher killing like thousands of people killed the past 2 days, at least 2,000 people killed yesterday and today. There is like footages of like massacre, ethnic cleansing, the RSF people killed in cold blood. So it's really horrific what's happening in El-Fasher. And not even only in El-Fasher, also people dislocated to Tawila, and RSF now heading to Kordofan. We heard the news yesterday from Bara, and Bara is in Kordofan near El-Fasher, also being like in control of RSF soldiers. So the division is happened before. So now we have like almost like 2 countries. The South control Khartoum and control Port Sudan and other parts of Sudan, and RSF and Abdelaziz al-Hado, they control the west of Sudan. So yeah, this is the situation.
Walid Makram, you agree? Sudan is now 2 countries?
No, totally no, I'm not agree. I think there is a conflict between the two general, and I think there is, we have to say that Mr. Hemedti and his Ta'sis government, they decide to create a government. It's called peace and unity. We're not seeking for split the country. This is a propaganda of the media, and we can talk that like it's clear. If we want to diagnostic the problem, we have to see the really what is going in the ground. There is no beautiful face in the war, and we have to tell the truth. Every time we ask to stop the war, we went several times to stop the war in several places. We declared we want to stop the war. Who is turning the fire on, and he wants to continue with fights and in the war? They are the Islamists who there had hidden inside the Sudanese army. South, let's be clear, sir. I want to tell you something. There is nothing good in the war, and we have to stop the war. For the latest videos today, the government of Ta'sis, they had declared a declaration. They had arrested the people and the soldiers who had committed these crimes immediately. We don't hide ourselves, and we don't deny that, and we said we don't know. Now we create this government for the democracy, and we are searching for the democracy. We are not going to say that, no, we don't want to stop. The war in Sudan is forgotten war. It started before maybe almost 3 years. Every time we talked, when we told the people all of the world, we have to stop this war, they told us the Islamists are not good.
We'll pick up.
Sir,
we'll pick up on that point in a moment. I just want to get a clearer picture of what is the humanitarian situation right now with the fall of El-Fasher. And by the way, Caroline Bouvard, we've gotten reports that in North Kordofan province, there have been 5 humanitarian workers who have died. So it is a difficult situation. Tell us, what has your day been like? Because you are 60 kilometers away from El-Fasher. What's it been like where you are?
Well, yes, indeed, we are in Tawila, about 60 kilometers west of El-Fasher. This is the area where most of the people who have been displaced from El-Fasher and the Zamzam camp in the past months have been coming for support and security, as it is a neutral area in the conflict right now. Unfortunately, the situation is quite difficult here because over the past 6 months, we have about 500,000 people who have been forced to move to this little city, this little town of Tawila. And we expect that we will have more people coming in now with the fights happening that have happened in the past 2 days in El-Fasher and the takeover of El-Fasher. We've seen some people coming in already in the past couple of days. Unfortunately, people who are not in a good condition. They're very malnourished, very dehydrated. Many are hurt and they're quite traumatized by everything that they've seen and some of the issues they've faced on the road or when they were in El-Fasher with a different armed group.
Yeah, and just a few days ago for France Télévisions, our partner station, journalists Fred Prabonneau and Kylian Le Bouquin filed this report from the city where you are right now, Caroline, Tawila. It's a report read by Eliza Herbert.
Darfur, a region off limits to journalists, is at the heart of the war that has been raging for 2.5 years between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces. These paramilitaries, filmed by France 2, control almost the entire territory. It is the first time that a foreign television crew has entered Tawila. 560,000 people have taken refuge in this area, which has been spared from the fighting. Others continue to arrive, like this grandmother, who has been here for 5 days with her daughter and grandchildren.
The journey here was so difficult. We were thirsty. We had to hide for 3 days. Even the children had nothing to eat.
Like most of the displaced people, they fled El-Fasher, the capital of North Darfur, some 60 kilometres away, during the siege by the paramilitaries.
There were bombings, bombs falling everywhere, shells.
The displaced populations depend mainly on insufficient aid. It takes the trucks days to reach the town of Tawila. Aid access for the reporters is also limited.
There's a shortage of water. You see the people are in queue.
Dr. Nazir has seen the camps expand in less than 6 months.
It was very massive displacement. Children with donkey car, on food, wounded people. Yeah, new arrival. So you see how they are staying now.
Hundreds of thousands of people are now crammed together in unhygienic conditions that are conducive to epidemics, including cholera.
Mama,
how are you? I hope you're feeling better. Stretch your legs.
More than 1,700 patients have been treated in this cholera unit by the medical NGO Alina.
What is observed in this cholera that children also affected, and the most mortality was happening in under 5 also was observed during the cholera report. So because a lot of factors also, as you see, there is malnutrition problem. Most of cases they have malaria. It will increase the severity of cholera.
Children eat things that are not clean. He fell ill 4 days ago, and on top of that, he has cholera.
Epidemics are not the only thing to be treated here. Faiza Abdallah, also a refugee, helps women overcome trauma.
Hello, how are you?
These young women and their families were victims of paramilitaries on their journey here.
Many armed men arrived. We were not strong enough to oppose them. They tried to separate the women, but we refused. My husband is dead. They killed him.
They agreed to talk about their rapes without saying the word.
We had to follow, and if it happened, it happened.
It happened, and he abandoned us there, by the side of the road in the dark.
Some of them, they come to us, and some they hide themselves. They didn't come to us. They shy.
A United Nations fact-finding mission in Sudan has accused both sides of deliberately targeting civilians.
And Caroline Bouval, just to give that report context and those gut-wrenching accounts that we heard from those women at the end of it, a lot of these people who had to basically flee either the capital El-Fasher or the Zamzam refugee camp.
Yeah, I mean, this shows indeed what we're hearing on a daily basis from the people who are arriving here. So it's unfortunately events that happen to the displaced people who have been coming from El-Fasher not only in the past days actually, but in the past weeks. Yeah. I cannot give you any more context than that, than the fact that these events are definitely happening around here, and that we are trying to bring the support that we can to the people who come here and are obviously, as you saw, living in very dire conditions and having suffered strong trauma on the way to safer ground that you have here in Taiwan. The main problem being, in addition to that we do not have enough humanitarian aid to actually support these people. The access, as you were mentioning in the report, is quite constrained. The UN do not have full access to Darfur at this point. So it's mostly the work of the NGOs and the local NGOs, the international NGOs and local NGOs that is trying to respond to the situation. And obviously, with more than 500,000 new refugees, new displaced people in the past few months, that's an enormous work, and we're not able to respond at the level of the needs. So, the main message I would say right now in this context is civilians should be protected at all costs by all the parties, and the people who need to seek humanitarian aid should actually be allowed to reach humanitarian aid, and humanitarian workers should be supported in the aid that they're bringing to these people. And in addition to that, we need to ask donors states, all the partners to actually be more supportive of this response, because right now we are not responding at the scale we need to. Just to give you one number, we are covering less than 20% of the needs in terms of water for these people, so that they have clean water, which is one of the reasons we had such a big cholera epidemic a few weeks back.
Yeah, the cholera epidemic that we saw in that report. The province of North Darfur, it's a key hub, right? Because you're in the west of Sudan. We can maybe show it on a map, and you're south of Libya, and you're east of Chad. So how do you get the aid in?
Well, basically, at this point, the aid is mostly coming through Chad. So we have the possibility to bring in aid through the border of a small town in Chad called Adre. And then we're going through West Darfur, Central Darfur, and it's about a 2-day trip to go from Adre to Tawila, which is at the limit between Central Darfur and North Darfur, on the other side of a chain of mountain called Jebel Mara. And so it's quite difficult to reach for both many administrative constraints, to tell you, both crossing Chad and entering Sudan, and as well because of the constraint on the road, the quality of the access. So right now we managed to get there. It's not easy, but it's doable. And we especially need the supplies to come here, and especially the supplies coming from the United Nations, whether it is food from the WFP, the World Food Programme, or supplies for water and sanitation from UNICEF, for example. It's really in dire need here.
Again, you're 60 kilometers outside of El-Fasher in Tawila. You've seen this sort of town mushroom with all the displaced people who've arrived. What's their plan? What do they want to do? Do they want to stay put? Do they want to? Where do they want to go next? What do they want to do?
It's very difficult for most of them to really know what comes next, because they cannot go back home for now. That is for sure. It's just not safe for them. It's very difficult for them to move forward, because they would get out of what is considered as a neutral zone, and they're afraid of what could happen. And most importantly, they don't have the financial means to pay their way out of the area. Some of them tell us that they would like to keep moving towards Chad, but it's a complicated and expensive journey for them, and it creates other questions, because there's already a lot of refugees in Chad. There's about 1 million refugees that move to Chad, and obviously this also implies some complexities in terms of how to bring humanitarian aid there as well. It's more accessible, but Chad is maybe not put enough in front in terms of the support from the donors to actually bring full support to the refugees there. It's one of the constraints that we have with the reduction of the money available for humanitarian aid these days in the world, unfortunately.
All right, Yale University in the United States has what's called a human rights lab that takes satellite images and matches them with open source material like social media posts. It identified on Monday objects consistent with bodies in several parts. Here you see some of that, what's in that report. You heard Wali Makram Roa Al-Hag say that according to eyewitnesses, this is something that's been picked up on by news agencies. There have been upwards of 2,000 summary executions in the last 72 hours. Did I hear you claim that there have been arrests of those carrying out the summary executions?
Actually, RSF leaders themselves committed those crimes, and they took videos for them in cold blood killing people, civilians, women and children, not even like Islamic or not even like a military forces, no, just civilians, innocent people, and they've been showing off this on social media. One of the leaders of RSF, his name is Abu Lulu. He had 1.1 million likes on TikToks. So he spoke about that proudly. He killed about 2,000 civilians in Al-Fasher, and not only him will take the blame, because there's other videos show leaders and RSF soldiers killing civilians. Actually, there's videos on social media said like, oh, this is like season of killing rabbits. Imagine, like, say that about civilians and innocent people. So it's really horrific and disturbing pictures coming from Al-Fasher, coming from Bara, and coming from other cities in Darfur, not even mention like rape cases and the violence against women that happen by RSF. Now the whole region controlled by RSF. I want to say, like, this made headline in the news just yesterday and today and the day before, because RSF now control Al-Fasher. But before that, this city was locked for more than 18 months. There is a famine in Al-Fasher. UNICEF said like more than 130,000 children locked in this place without aid, without any food or any source of protection or any even like medication. The only hospital work in Al-Fasher now is out of service. I want to mention again, one of my colleagues, a journalist, in Al-Fasher got like enforced disappearance by RSF soldier Muammar Ibrahim, and we don't know anything about him, and all this happened in the past 2 days.
Walid Makram, did I hear you say earlier that there have been arrests of those who've been carrying out the forced disappearances and the summary executions?
Okay, thanks for your points. Let's go zoom inside. Let me tell you the truth, what's going on. We had already contact 4 times, okay, the fact-finding committee, International Fact-Finding Committee. We had already contacted Mr. Shandi, the president of Fact-Finding Committee, in 4 times, in 2 times, in 2024, in 27 November and 27 November, 28 July 2024, 27 November 2024, 19 February 2025, and 2 July 2025. We declared him and we accept to open the land, and we welcomed. Every time we are welcomed the fact-finding committee. Actually, they received our contact. They start contacting the army, the Sudanese army in Port Sudan. Actually, what had happened, the Sudanese army are ignoring. Why we call them for stopping the propaganda, and we put the word, all of the word, inside the truth. Actually, 20 August 2025, the president of the committee, the fact-finding,
yeah, but please, can we fast forward to the last 72 hours?
Yes,
because
yes.
You heard Roa say there were people bragging about killing civilians.
Let me.
This is on social media.
Continue. Madame Caroline, she said to you in Tawila, we don't touch any one of the civilians. But I tell you something, who had taken the hostages inside Al-Fasher? It was the staff and the militia of their people beside him. They took the hostages, they put the civilians. We took out 800,000 people with the United Nations outside of Al-Fasher. We opened the paths. We let them go outside. Actually, today, we had arrested Mr. Abu Lulu, the soldier, and we put him to face the trail of judgment. We don't hide this. Listen, I want to tell you something. When we ask the civilians to go outside to avoid killing them, now in Tawila, as Madame Caroline told you, that the people, they are installed, they are there, but they had difficulties like food, medication, and something like that. That's why from the first day, we said we have to go to the peace. Today, I tell you something. The government of Ta'sis, they had a declaration. Clearly, they declared to the world the statement, we will never let anyone had crimes to go like this. We arrested them, the soldiers, now they are arrested. And for the journalist, Mr. Muammar, he went in the media in a video with one of the soldiers of RSF, and he told him that you are protected. No one can touch you, even can drop of in your face one drop of cold water. We will protect you and we will take you in a safe place. Actually, Mr. Muammar, the journalist, now he is in safe place. I confirm for you, we protect him, we talk to him, not just because he's a journalist, because he's a human being. And also we try to protect the human beings everywhere. If we are ignoring this, we didn't took out 800,000 people. The people who were inside Al-Fasher, either they are hostages, they put there by the SAF to keep them inside to do his play game with the politics, or either they are soldiers.
So let me bring in Roa El-Hag on this. Are you reassured by what you're hearing from Walid Makram?
No, it's just nonsense what he said. Basically, Muammar, he talked about Muammar, he's in safe place, and one soldier talked to him, but we saw like multiple videos. That videos took by RSF soldiers. They hidden him, they put him in the floor, and they humiliate him and tell him like he used to eat animal skin before, and that's really happened because he lost lots of weight after RSF controlled the city and blockage the aid to enter the city. So no news, we have no news about him. We don't know yet if he is in a safe place or not, because he's not got released yet. So it's just a talk, like nonsense. Again, the footages and videos, not only Abu Lulu, like there's multiple videos running all over the media, because they are proud of the crimes, because they know there's no accountability for what they did. RSF used to be like Janjaweed militia. They used to kill in Darfur since 2003 and 2008. And the Islamic regime made them powerful military, because in 2017, Omar al-Bashir regime named them RSF and make them like part of the military forces. So that's happened in the Islamic regime. And now they continue doing what they are doing in Darfur for the past more than 3 decades. And again, what's happened in Darfur before, nobody take accountability for it. Only we see ICC, only they have like one criminal, and that's it. So that's why they keep killing and killing, because no one has stopped them. Today, the European Union, UK government, Germany government, all the governments, they wrote a statement about what's happening in Al-Fasher, and they name RSF crime very clearly, and the whole world know about this now. But the thing is, what's next? Who's going to stop them from committing those crimes?
Let's talk about this now, because there are diplomatic efforts to try to stop the fighting. In the run-up to the fall of El-Fasher, last Thursday, the United States hosted what's being called the Quad: Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. But the Emirates, who back the RSF, refused to sign a joint statement, reportedly because Abu Dhabi rejected the term siege to describe the situation in El-Fasher. U.S. mediator Masad Boulos telling Sky News Arabia on Monday that this could be, quote, the beginning of a very unfortunate division of Sudan. Walid Makram, let me ask you, is that what's next? We've already had South Sudan break off from the rest of the country. Will there be another division of Sudan?
I tell you something. We don't planning to split Sudan another time. Our plan is to create one nation, and we called our government is called Peace and Unity. Maybe Mr. Musad Bolis, he said that because he's trying to understand the situation in Sudan, or he's trying to understand or to find the most shortcut way to tell you declaration. But I want to tell you something. We had already, when we went for the peace negotiations, we declared we had a point we wanted. It was clear, we didn't hide it, and we didn't try to do just like the snake to change our skins. The army he had changed their minds and our skins, and they declared several times, Jeddah 1, Jeddah 2, Manama 1, Manama 2, Geneva 1, Geneva 2. And now in Washington, they are trying to get more time. Sir, what we said, we declared, we want one army just like the other countries. We don't like the ideology of the Islamists. We want to keep all of the militias and military armies inside, keep it inside one army, one international army of Sudan. We want just to take the person, they had crimes, international crimes, to take them to the international court in La Haye. It was declared. Now, who is protect Mr. al-Bashir and Ahmad Harun, and Abdurrahim Muhammad Hussein? He is General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. Why he denied and he refused to send him to the justice, the international justice? We do not say we want to split the country. We told them we just finished something called Islamist politics in Sudan.
You understand, Walid Makram, that viewers can be skeptical listening to you because there was a revolution in 2019 that overthrew the Islamist-backed dictatorship of Omar al-Bashir, and it was the two warring generals, al-Burhan and Hemedti, who staged a coup against that revolution. So they're not. How can they be, either one of them, ambassadors of peace?
What had happened exactly in October 2021 when al-Burhan and Hemedti, the two, they goes and took the power from the civilians, and they declared together we have to go with the military and we have to keep the military in the force. After 5 minutes, Mr. Hemedti, he went outside, he found Burhan with the Islamists, and he told him, what is this? He told him that this is my partners. From this minute, Mr. Hemedti, he declared, and it was clearly, we have to go in negotiations to give the power for the people, the Sudanese people, the civilians. And they tried for a long time to sign an agreement to give the country for the civilians. Those people, the Islamists, they went clearly before the war in Ramadan 2023, they said this negotiations and this agreement, we will never sign in it. Either the Sudan belongs to us, the Islamists, or we will destroy the Sudan. They declare this every time.
Okay, so let me bring in Roa El-Hag, because we're running short on time here. Roa, your interpretation of what happened when the 2019 revolution was confiscated in a coup first before the civil war broke out 3 years ago. What's your reading of it?
Okay, so before that, let me correct the other guest. He mentioned what's happened in Darfur before, and that the Islamic people did like ethnic cleansing in Darfur, but Hemedti was part of it. And he mentioned multiple times in those records that he was part of killing civilians in Darfur. And if the guests can go look online and see what's happened in Jabal Amir when Hemedti controlled the gold mining places in West Sudan. So yeah, he was part of this. He's a war criminal, not only in the Islamic regime time, now as well. So what's happened in 2018 and 19, it was like a pure revolution with good goals. But what happened after that, there was like a political agreement between the civilian parties, the political parties, and Hemedti himself, and SAF, General al-Burhan. And this agreement ruined everything for the Sudanese people and put the military again on the top of the power. So the sharing power model wasn't work at that time. So that after that they did like a military coup together. And then the war started, and everyone knows what's happened after that. But let's go back to time.
Right. Caroline Bouvard, yeah. let me ask you, we know that Sudan is a mosaic of different populations, different ethnic groups. It's a vast country. We also know that it can't be broken down into just two blocks, one fighting against the other. We're even seeing that in Darfur, where there are other players, other militias. When you're doing your work, your humanitarian work, do you feel the effects of the genocide of 2 decades ago, the fact that there have been other instances where there's been killing since?
Well, I mean, as humanitarian workers, we're bound to be neutral in our interventions. So we talk to all the parties, and obviously we try to denounce anytime we see that the international humanitarian law is not respected, and whenever we see violences against civilians. And there is obviously a lot of history in this country between different communities, which makes it complicated to bring back peace in some areas. We also see a lot of structure which have been built upon time, actually, between the communities to try to find places where they can talk to each other. You have a lot of peace and reconciliation committees which exist in different parts of the country, where different groups, different communities come together to try to solve the issues that they face with one another, whatever may have happened in the past. So we can only hope that to some extent this is still possible to push forward between the different communities who live in Darfur and in Sudan in general. And as humanitarian workers, the only thing that we can do in these circumstances is just to make sure that everybody who needs to get our aid wherever they are, whichever communities they are from, is actually getting the aid that they deserve, and that we can keep advocating for the civilians not to be targeted and to be protected, even in a situation where different groups are fighting. So this is what we obviously hope that will be happening now, and that we will be able to reach the populations who are in need of humanitarian aid.
Caroline, you mentioned earlier for us, we heard you loud and clear talking about the need for more of that aid, and the fact that you have the emergencies that you listed, among them cholera, among them the fact that people are traumatized by having been victims of either family members being killed, of rape, as we saw in that report earlier. The fact that diplomacy has been ineffective, is that something that as an aid organization you feel? The fact that there's no one player who can sort of take a lead at this point, it seems?
Well, it is definitely an issue on the ground for sure. we can see that so far there hasn't been much progress in terms of bringing the different parties together to try to find solutions, and that means that more people are suffering on the ground. We know that there are crises in the world that attract more attention than the one happening in Sudan, even if it is currently the biggest humanitarian crisis in the world. So we can only hope that indeed further diplomatic efforts can be done to try to bring peace to this country and to make sure that all the people in need can be reached and can be supported by the NGOs or by the UN as much as possible, for sure, yeah.
Very briefly, because we're running short on time, I'll start with you, Walid Makram. Who's the international player at this point who can help bring this to a resolution?
I think the resolution and the solution is becoming from Sudanese hope. The Sudanese, they start the war, and the Sudanese, they have to stop the war. The war started in Sudan, not in recently. The war started in Sudan in 1955. The war in south of Sudan killed 2,500,000 people. The war in Darfur, I want to tell you definition before we go. The latest Janjaweed, they tell, and the Janjaweed in the past, the Janjaweed in the past is not the RSF. The Janjaweed in the past, they belong to Musa Hilal. He is the chef of Janjaweed. He had a milice. RSF, it was in the one part of.
So you're saying that this will be sorted by the Sudanese themselves. Roa al-Hag, is there an outside player? Roa al-Hag, let me ask you: is there an outside player who, at this point, can help to bring this to a quick conclusion, this civil war?
Yeah, I believe not Abdel Fattah al-Burhan or Hemedti can end this war. They said it's a civil war, but the truth is the international community support this war. Emirates support RSF, and SAF, they have other countries supported them. There's the situation in Sudan really complicated. Many countries, they have their hands on this war. So yeah, we need Sudanese people need to sit with each other and try to solve their problem, but also the international community has a huge impact in this crisis. We saw the quarter peacemaking between Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, and the US. Basically, now the American administration or Biden administration ignore what's happened in Sudan. And now the new administration, they seem care more about the situation in Sudan. We saw Agoni, a brother of Hemedti in the US, and other people from SAF, they start talking, and this is not even successful yet, but I believe the international community should push more RSF and SAF to sit and talk and make peace. But in the same time, I saw the division, because the international community approved that gonna happen, because there is lots of wealth and share between different countries in the same time.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, unfortunately. So much more to talk about. Roa al-Hag, so many thanks for being with us from London. I want to thank Walid Makram for being with us from Aurillac in southern France. Caroline Bouvard of the charity Solidarité Internationale for being with us from North Darfur province. Thank you for being with us here in the France 24 debate.